Dear friends, good morning all of you. In the last lecture, we have started the new topic, that is punctuation marks. And in the last video, I explained about the punctuation marks, how the punctuation marks is important and how to use to make a proper sentence or in a language. So dear friends, in the last video we see the three punctuation marks. Now we start the remaining parts or remaining punctuation marks. So dear friends, before that I request all of you, please see my video on my video YouTube channels, and please those who have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and write the comments in the comment box and ring the bell. Now friends, see the fourth one, the punctuation mark fourth is colon, and the symbol of the column is like this. Please dear friends, don't write like this. It is wrong. Use proper column or proper punctuation mark or proper symbols when you write. This is not a proper symbol of colon, that's why it is wrong, and this one is the correct. So how to use the columns? So this is the information about the column, we come to know that. Now see, the column marks a still more complete pause. So when we read or when we read, that time we give the proper pause, a complete pause. Then after you start the reading or read the second part of the sentence. That's why it gives more complete pause than that example praised by the semicolon. So we use the column after the strongest possibility. Now you see, the column indicates the strongest possible break. Here it indicates that is the same information is given here. The strongest possible break within the sentence. We give in a sentence proper pause, proper break, or it should be a strongest. Now see the example. Now we come to know that what are the uses of column. Then we come to know that how to use the column. See, the first use of column is used before a list of items or details. If you want to go to the market or in the shop, you want to some different items, where you purchase different items. That time how to use the language. Here is the given example is there. Now see, please send me the following items. Now you have give the order to the shop owners. Please send me the following items like this. A loaf of bread. Now, so here is the friends. Please send me the following items. So there is the strongest, this is the strongest feelings. So we here give the pause. Please send me the following items. Which are the items are included in my list? A loaf of bread, 4 eggs, a bottle of milk. So that's why here we use the column symbol. So this is the first use of column in writing of language, English language particularly. We will see. So how the column is used to write the sentence, to say something to others. That's why that time we use these punctuation marks. Now the second example of column is his action were as follows. Now here were as follows, here we use the symbols because see the actions. His actions were as follows. Then what are the actions? See, he went to the drugstore, bought some medicine, comma, then got into his car and drove away. So friends, here we use the column. If you not use the column, then it is not the proper sentence. Now see, his actions were as follow. He went to the drugstore. So we read directly. Plainly we read. But when we use the column here, so we take a strong pause. His action were as follows. He went to the drugstore, bought some medicine. Here is the semicolon is there. Bought some medicine, got into his car and drove away. So these types of when we read any books or English language, when we read any books, that time we understand here is the column. Then we can take the strongest pauses, and then we come to know what the next part of the sentence is. Hereafter we come to know that. We come to know that his action into the next part of the sentence. Now, the second use of column is the column is used before an apposition, juxtaposition positions, an opposition phrase or clauses. So in sentence, sometimes we use phrases, sometimes we use clauses. Now see the examples. Our company has always had its motto. Now see, this is one of the clause. Here is the clause. Then we put the column symbol, colon symbol, and then next phrases, next clause is. This is one of the clause. Our company has always had his motto. Then colon, the customer is always right. This is the second clause is there. Now see the next example. These are our duties. So which are these duties in any companies? So every person has divided this separate work, different types of work. Now in the company, these are our duties. In the school, in the companies, there are different types of works. So in the company these are your duties. Sort the mails. So different types of mails we receive. So sort them. Some mails about the medicines, some mails about the schools, some mails about the different companies. So these types of sort the mails. Then we give the semicolon. Then open that is not personal. Throw away the envelope. Now see, here is these are our duties. Then we use the colon symbols, and then after we read one by one our duties. Then we take the slight pause, but here we take the strongest pause, and then we read the remaining part of the sentence. Now, the third use of column is the column is used to divide the parts of reference. So it is used for part of reference, title, formula, and numerous. So mostly we use in mathematics, geometry. Formula also we use in physics, chemistry, and math, like this. So the example is like this. The time was 9 column 15 p.m. So here we divide the times. So here we use the column symbol to divide the times. 9, 15 we divide, both parts with the colon symbol. Then he was assigned the chapter 12 verse 18. So here is it is the reference. Here is the reference about the chapter 11's we column here and then verse 18. So these types of use is column is. Then fifth one is parenthesis. We use brackets. Now see the parenthesis, single bracket we can say, single bracket. Parenthesis or double dash are used to set off words, phrases, clauses or sentences which are used by way of explanations. So sometimes we explain some units, some parts of the chapters. That time how to use the way of explanations. That time we use the parenthesis. Then translation or comment, but which are independent constructions. So it is not dependent, which is independent constructions. So it is the use of brackets, single brackets while teaching the language parts or when we read the chapters. Now see the example of first one is first example, Isha, my sister's roommate at college. So this depend on this brackets. Okay, so Isha, my sister's roommate at college. So the bracket complete, is coming to visit us. So now dear friends, this and this one is, it's depend. They are related to each other. They indicate their relations. So that's why Isha. Then there is the my sister's roommate at college is coming to visit us. Now the second parenthesis uses, parentheses are used to enclose a number, letter or symbol which are an oppositions. So which can indicate the oppositions relations symbols. Now see the example, the principal order 12. So we can write the 12s like this. That's why we write in the parenthesis symbols. Parallel bars of the senior school gymnasiums. So we use this symbol. The book, second example is the bookkeeper ornamented his letterhead with the percentage symbol. So percentage symbols we use in a parenthesis symbols. So these types of some numbers we can write in a sentence. So it is one of the useful for us. Now the next punctuation marks is question marks. So what are the uses of question marks? How to use the question marks while writing the sentence? Now see, the first one is the question mark is used after all interrogative sentences. Now in interrogative sentences we use the question mark. It is very easy to identify or to write the interrogative sentence that asks direct questions. So in interrogative sentence it asks direct questions. Now see the example, first one is, where have all the young boys come? So lastly it is very easy. We start from the WH. Interrogative sentence start with WH. Sometimes start with the helping verbs, auxiliary verbs, and lastly we put the question marks. Now the second one is, are you going to school tomorrow? There is the question mark. Is it yes or not? We don't know about the answer properly. But he asks, are you going to the school tomorrow? So he says sometime yes or he says sometime no. So these types of questions we ask directly to someone and then we get the proper answer. Now the second use of question mark is, the question mark may be used after each separate part of the sentence. When you write the separate part of the sentence, that time we use the question mark containing more than one question. So more than one questions, use the if there is the one questions, another questions, you for separate use the question mark. Now see the example. Can we be sure of his willingness? So it is possibility. Here is the possibility. We don't know, but can we be sure? There is the possibility. Can we be sure of his willingness? Then we don't know about his willingness. He is ready or not. So we put the question mark. Then his capability. What is the capability of this person? We don't know. Then we write down, put the question mark. His honesty. Then we put the question mark. So here is the more than one questions. Not only one question is there. There is one question, second and third questions. That's why we use the question for separate. We use the question mark for the separate sentence or separate questions. This is the one of the use of the question marks. Now, the friends, the question mark. The next punctuation mark is question mark. In sentences, the question is generally introduced by a comma. It is introduced by the comma or colon or semicolon. So it is used by introduced by these punctuation marks. Now see the example. May I ask? There is the comma. What is his purpose? That is the questions. Now the second one is, this is our problems. We use here the semicolon. Where here we use the colon, we use here. This is it. So it is one of the points I noted here. So this is our problem. What should be done to ensure maximum participation in sports activity? So here is we use interrogative WH words, and here we use the colon symbols. Now the ensure maximum participation is sports activity. So this is one of the example. Now the second one is exclamation marks. Now it is we use in a parts of speech, we use this exclamation marks. Now the maximum marks is used after all exclamatory sentences that express. So dear friends, when we express our surprise feelings, emotions or deep feelings, so that time we use these symbols. So this symbol indicates our surprise, emotions and our feelings. Means it introduces our thoughts and feelings. In short. Now see, the example of exclamation marks is look out. We put here the comma. Here we put the comma. The roof is falling. So here we give the trace onto this sentence, and then we put the exclamation marks. Now the second example is the headlines read. Here we comma. So which headline is there? So it is important. So this headline is important. That's why we use double inverted comma and given the exclamation marks. See, the headlines read, comma, peace at last between India and Pakistan. So this is the main headline in newspaper. That's why it used in a double inverted comma, and then we put the exclamation marks. Now see, what a pitiful tragedy. Here we use the exclamation marks. What a wonderful day. Here we use the exclamation marks. So dear friends, so in this lectures we see the 4 or 5 points we have covered about the punctuation marks. But friends, please read the punctuation or more information about these punctuation marks at the home and collect the different types of examples. Then we can write the proper punctuation sentence with punctuation marks. So that's why it is very useful to write the language or sentence. So dear friends, please listen my video and please subscribe, and those who have subscribed, please likes and ring the bell. Thank you very much.